It's the Mike Ferry Podcast. We're very lucky today. We have a client that works for one of my very first customers only, which was Century 21 Mike Bowman Realtors in Dallas, Texas. Actually, Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, the whole market. And but we lost Mike Bowman a couple of years ago. His son Dave is a terrific guy, has kept the company moving forward because of people like we're going to talk to today, Miss Rebekah Gilbert. So let's welcome Rebekah. Nice to have you with us, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you,
So
Mike.
um, tell them the name of the company and what market you work in.
So I run a small team, the RG Real Estate Group. I work for Century 21 Mike Bowman Incorporated and have since I moved to Texas 8 years ago. And I work the whole Dallas Fort Worth metroplex. So if you ever need help in this area, I'm your girl. If you need help in Texas in general, I'll be happy to connect you with an agent if I don't work that market.
Are you a Texan?
I am now.
Yeah.
I
Where
moved here back in 2017.
from where?
So I moved from South Carolina. I sold real estate in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for
Oh,
my
that's
first
right.
5 years. And
Yes.
then I went to college in South Carolina, but I was mostly raised in Ohio. But I was born on the West Coast in Tacoma, Washington. So we've made quite the rounds.
Where were you born?
Tacoma, Washington,
Oh, were you? Wow. So you've gone virtually coast to coast.
just all the way around, and then made
Yeah.
it to my forever home in Texas.
Are you settled now?
Yes. Yeah, I met my husband 2 weeks after I moved here, so I think it was fate.
Good. Good for you. That is great. And talk about this team that you're part of.
Just a small team, so it's myself and then my business partner. We both lead the team, and then we just have a full-time assistant.
Okay, so it's really just the three of you.
Very tight knit.
What
Yes.
what do you do with your buyers?
So it depends. I mean, if they're very highly motivated, like one of my sellers that's buying a home, or in the radius and price point that I want to work, I will work them. I usually do maybe one a month,
Okay.
possibly two. And otherwise, I will either refer it to my business partner or we have agents that we trust. I'll refer it to in the office.
Good. That's great. How many agents does the office have now?
Probably about 170.
That's great.
Hmm.
And I know Dave has been with the company since birth, you know,
Yeah,
and
he has stories about you sleeping in his bed when you and Mike got started.
his dad used to enjoy every time I would do a seminar, his dad, Mike, would
Yeah.
start by saying, Mike Ferry slept in Dave's bed. And
Yeah.
that's how he would start it. And people would go like this.
Yeah,
It's
you were
funny.
the reason I moved here because I was on the panel back in 2017
That's right.
in
That's right.
Vegas. And then Mike Ferry, or I'm sorry, Mike Bowman and Dave had caught wind that I was thinking about moving markets. And so they called me to come visit. And I was like, I'm not moving to Texas. And then probably an hour later, I get a call from Mike Ferry saying, my good friend Mike wants you to come visit him. You should go. I'm like, booking the ticket now. Yes,
That's
sir.
right. So my son Tom lives with his wife and son in Dallas,
Okay.
and they have a home in Newport also, where they spend the summers because of the weather.
It's so
So
hot.
we keep a home in Newport, so we get to see Tom a lot. And I said, "How do you like Texas?" He said, "I'm looking for a Texan. It's like California, it's like Las
Mhm.
Vegas. It's people moving in and out all the time." And
Dave's
that,
a
of course,
Texan, but yeah,
pardon?
they're few and far between. Dave's a Texan,
That's right. Yeah.
but they are few
Um,
and far between.
but that makes for an active real estate market also.
Yes. We
And
have
that
8 million people here across the Metroplex.
8 million. So you're one of the
8 million.
largest.
7 million
You're
when I moved here 8 years ago, and we just surpassed 8 million now.
that is great. So
Yes.
how long total have you been selling real estate?
13 years.
13. How old are you now?
37.
37. So I have a question. What did you do before real estate? But you were probably
Server, bartender, college.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So you get exposure to a lot of prospects.
Yes, exactly. That's how I built
That's
my
fun,
business in Myrtle Beach was a lot of my server friends, managers, professors.
which is good.
Mhm.
What's your average sales price?
So here about 500,000.
So you know Natasha Johns up in Indiana.
Yes.
I interviewed her for last week, and her average sales price now is 200,000. It's
Wow.
up. She said it's up to 200,000.
Her
And
cost
yet
of
I
living is probably a little less though.
say it again.
Her cost of living is probably a little less.
Oh yeah, considerably less, no question
Mhm.
about it. Um, how
But
big
we
is
did
your?
just move to Westlake, which is actually the richest, the wealthiest city in the state of Texas. It's number one. And Dave just
Wow,
moved our office here back in October of last year. So
that's it.
intentionally working to drive my price point up, which is exciting.
And how is the new office?
Fantastic. It's
That's good
amazing.
because the company was in that other market forever.
Yeah, we're about 15 minutes up the road from there. But the office, just where we are located right now, has just been huge for Dave to be able to recruit a lot more agents and for us to kind of break into that higher price point. But yeah, it's been a big change, but in a good way.
That's good. That's great. How big is your database?
So, well, when we spoke a couple weeks ago, it was about 900, but I've been purging because I'm a good student. So I have been deleting and it
Good.
feels wonderful. It's like purging my house.
So what do you have? What do you have
So we're at
actively?
about I'm sitting about little over 600 now
Good. What did you
from
do with
900.
the what did you do with the other 300 that you removed?
So I have them in what Ron Cronin calls the dungeon. So they're just on an email, no call list to where if I send out a mass email, they'll get it. They get these automatic market updates. I'm not touching them. I'm not thinking of them. But if they call me, then they can earn the right to come out of the dungeon.
That's good. Is Ron your coach?
He is.
He is a great guy.
He's wonderful. Yeah, he's coming
Yeah,
next week for us too, for a
that's
training.
right. That's right. I know because I had to approve it.
Yeah.
It's fun. Um, what percentage of your business for the two of you comes out of the database?
Most agents scroll. Top agents study. Follow Mike Ferry on all platforms and think like top real estate agents do.
So definitely Susan predominantly does her business from her database. Mine used to be a lot more expireds and cancels and for sale by owners. But now that I've been here for a longer period of time, I would say 40% comes from my database.
Good. That's good. Is it growing, the number that you're doing?
My database or the amount of
The
deals
amount
that
of,
I'm.
yeah, the amount of deals you're doing from your database, is that
So it's
growing?
Yeah, so it's definitely growing compared to what I first did because I mean, I knew nobody when I moved here to Texas, so I had to build it up. But I
Yeah,
would say over the course of the last 3 years, it's definitely increased. I did have a couple babies and things like that, so my transactions were higher. My, best year was, of course, COVID years. I think my highest was 81 deals, but I just had a baby. She's now 14 months, and so this past year I closed 43.
good. But that's a
Yeah,
lot of business with two babies and
it is. Yeah,
yeah,
they're my priority. So we have a lot of fun, and I thankfully still sell a lot of business, but I'm on track to close. I should close over 50. My goal was 50, but I think I'll surpass that.
what does your husband do?
So he did actually help a lot with the kids. He was kind of the supporting role, but he does golf professionally. So he golfs, and then he's also running like a catering business now that the girls are both in daycare.
Good for you guys. That's
Hmm
great. I know
Yeah,
he loves golf.
he does love golf.
He wanted to play professionally.
Yes.
Is he still got that dream in his mind?
I mean, he does it more so just for fun. And I mean, he still wins quite a few tournaments, but he's not pursuing it like he pursued it prior to
Yeah.
kids. So,
And how old are the kids now?
so I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old.
That's great. That is
Hmm.
fun.
And then my
So
husband, we have an older daughter too. So she's 18.
here's what I do with my kids because I have children your age and above. And I say, okay, you're going to have a baby and you're 37. What's it going to be like at age 50 to have a 13-year-old? And then they go, oh, we better hurry up because your life changes dramatically, especially doing 40 or 50 transactions a year.
Yes.
What does that mean in gross revenue?
So gross revenue to do 50, I mean, I always look at my net, but gross revenue probably about 600,000.
Good for you. A little different from the Carolinas.
A little bit. Yeah. It took me, let's see. So my second year here, I did more than I ever did in South Carolina. And then that following year, I doubled my income. So didn't take long to surpass what I did in South Carolina here in Texas.
Who'd you work with in the Carolinas?
Ira Nadich, he actually helped me a ton with the
Good,
move. I had several coaches, but he was the main coach. I had him for
good,
about 3 years.
good.
Is
Great
that
guy
what you
too.
mean, my coach or the brokerage?
Both.
So brokerage, I was with Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that.
Hmm.
Um, we hear all the time the same story from the people that are not productive. I don't want to do what the top producers do because they overprice listings and they cut their commissions. How do you deal with that type of an attitude and behavior, especially when you're listing property and they're bringing in offers to purchase?
Wait, can you repeat the question one more time?
Sure. How do you deal with that attitude that is so prevalent in real estate? The top producers cut commissions and overprice properties.
How do I deal with that? I mean, I just don't do it. So, I mean,
Good.
I'm very, especially right now with how long, inventory can take being on the market. I mean, I'm very intentional about who I'm working with. Are they motivated? Are they willing to work alongside me? Do they see the value in hiring a powerful agent like myself? And so I think just being careful about who you're working with, and
Yes,
knowing your value, knowing when, it's better to walk away, because walking away can sometimes be the best decision. Otherwise, you get stuck with the seller that you spend a lot of time and money on and never get paid. So,
well, you can finally get it sold, but your net dollars are minimal.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's
And so, and especially with my girls, like I said, they're my priority. So if I take on business with people that want to beat me down on commission and price and aren't super motivated, it takes away time from my family.
that's right, 100%. Um, you did how many transactions last year?
I closed
2025,
43.
43.
Mm-hmm.
And average sales price 500,000.
Yep.
So you're making substantial money. But Dallas is a very rich area.
Yes.
Um,
Definitely could be more, which I'm excited about because we're moving in that direction.
that's good. I'm sure Ron asks you to role play and practice your scripts. Do you still get involved in that type of activity?
I do. I will say that's the one thing I am just challenged with is working to fit it within my schedule. So Ron and I talked recently about, actually you helped me with this too, is doing flashcards, like
Yes,
writing objection handlers on flashcards and practicing, even if I'm just practicing with myself, and doing script practice. So I role play once a week and then I practice my scripts and objection handlers multiple times a week, usually 3 to 4 times.
I don't know if you were at the retreat a couple of years ago when I had Tony Smith on the stage with me. And I said to Tony, how much did you practice when you were an agent? Because he was from a very small, remote area called
Mhm.
Victorville, which nobody's ever heard of
I
until
actually
you
lived in Victorville. My
you did.
grandmother lived there. Yeah. So we
You're
lived there for a
kidding.
few years. Yes. So
So
I have heard of it, Mike.
she's one of the five residents.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yep.
that's fun. But I said to Tony, how much did you practice? And he said, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, 5 days a week for 2 years,
Wow.
which
Tony's
is
my hero.
well, I bring that up not to ever embarrass anybody, but to show you that, first of all, a pro football team like the Cowboys practice 30, 40 hours a week.
Yes.
That's all they do is practice. And the Mavericks practice the same.
And you're never
It's
too good to practice.
say it
Definitely.
again.
You're never too good to practice. I can tell where I get rusty. In
Yeah.
fact, Ron had me record my listing presentation yesterday, and I left and I was like, golly, I gotta practice. Like you realize, especially after you're recording yourself, you're like, I can't believe I have to share this with Ron.
So
But it's
is
good
your
practice.
business, is the Dallas market seasonal at all?
It is to an extent, but I mean, it's a pretty robust market all year round. You'll kind of have, like right in the middle of summer, it slows down a little bit. When kids go back, it slows down a little bit. You'll
Yeah.
slow a little bit, but for the most part, it's consistent because there's people moving in and moving out constantly.
Well, I said to somebody a couple weeks ago, Rebecca, I said, is your market seasonal? She said, the market is seasonal. I'm not.
There you go.
I,
That's a good answer because it really
and
does depend on the effort that I put into it because there's plenty of people that need to buy and sell.
that's right. I wrote down this question. How many appointments would you go on in an average month, listing appointments?
Usually, usually 6 to 8
Good.
appointments. Now, I mean, it used to be more. I'd average about 10 to 12, but now I'm currently at about 6 to 8.
Yes. And that's because of your commitment to the kids.
It is.
Yeah. And if you're on 6 to 8, how many listings would you take?
My listing taken ratio is 85%. So out of 10
85.
appointments, I'm going to take 8.5 listings.
Mike Ferry Events, where top producing agents get sharper. The original real estate coaching. Get registered today and invest in yourself.
What's the biggest objection you get? Because I would assume if you're talking to a couple that has kids, they're going to say, how does she sell real estate in high volume and have a family?
I actually don't really get that very often, at least to my face.
Yeah, they do
mean,
it in their
maybe,
heads.
yeah, maybe it's an objection in their heads. I would say mostly it's, if they're interviewing other agents. I've gotten back into, really going after expires and canceled. So it could be interviewing other agents. It could be, they want to wait or they're not sure. I think a lot of mine actually comes from I need to be better about pre-qualifying more in depth. I pre-qualify, but I think that I could weed out some of the non-motivated people if I just dug a little bit deeper before I
Yep.
went out.
Yep. What I've discovered is that the top producers pre-qualify,
Hmm.
but they don't do it intentionally with the objective of reducing the number of bad appointments.
Yes.
They do it to find out what the seller wants to do, would like
Hmm.
to do, which is important, motivation, but they don't do it with the intention of weeding out, getting this one off the table.
Yes, exactly.
Do you find that is common for yourself at times?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's definitely some that I could dig deeper to where I shouldn't be sitting at that table,
Yeah.
right? I would definitely say that that happens.
What's your sell ratio on the listings that you take?
I mean, I would say, out of 10 listings, 8,
So out of
about
every
an
10,
80%.
Okay, which is outstanding.
Mhm.
And um,
And sometimes it could be like the two that I sold this week, Mike, where they went on, we rented it, it went back on, those fun,
yeah,
long-term clients that are great clients, but just for whatever reason on the listing, just a tough time. But yeah.
do you find that with the amount of traffic that comes through Dallas, that listings sell faster in the DFW market than it would, say, in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at DFW as a whole, our average days on market is 75 days. But then you have bubbles like Westlake and Southlake, where Southlake is under 30 days. But like
Wow.
the million plus price point, Dave and I were just talking about this. The million and price point and above right now is selling like hotcakes. I mean, we
Wow.
had multiple offers on the last three listings I listed over a million here in the last couple weeks. Um, but the homes between 400 and 800, especially depending on the area, if there's a lot of new construction and things like that, those are sitting.
Interesting.
It is very
So,
interesting.
so a percentage of the market that is over a million is going to sell faster
Mhm.
than the market of 4 to 8 thousand, or
Yep.
400,000 to 800,000.
Yeah, and I think
That's
there's just mainly because there's a lot more inventory in that 400 to 800, but I also
yeah,
think that those people are a lot more interest rate concerned versus the million
yes.
and plus.
Yeah, they're more concerned about payment than they are
Exactly.
of anything else. Yeah,
Exactly.
which is just a normal family.
Hmm.
No question. So, um, is there anything that you're working on that if you do it and accomplish it, you're going to get your 43 to 50 to 70 to 80?
Well, the homework that you gave me is absolutely helping, where you told me to go after the people that I think are most likely to buy or sell. That's helped a
Yeah,
lot. I mean, I would say, I sold 8 in the last probably 6 weeks. And
good.
some of those listing appointments and sales came from just doing that homework and really thinking about who is the most likely to buy and sell. So that really just focusing on my database. I have probably about 100 more people to go through to get them organized into that A and B. And then I'm
Yeah,
excited to just start really focusing on calling the A's more often. I have some like events that I'm going to be planning.
good.
Um, yeah, so just database, just really focusing on the database and the right people.
More and more of the top producers, Rebecca, are doing one or two events per year, some type of a social event, hoping that a lot of their database will show up and, of
Hmm.
course, generate referrals. Is
Yeah,
that
and
the
our
type of
campus
thing?
here at the office has some awesome areas that would make it easy to be able to host some of those events.
That is great. So um, you're sitting in a front of about 5 agents, and they're brand new to real estate. They want to be where you are today, but we know it's going to take a couple of years. What kind of advice would you give them?
The advice that you gave me over and over when I moved to Texas, time takes time. You have to
That's
trust the
right.
process. And as long as you're consistent and disciplined, even if it feels like small steps forward, it will end up turning into results.
That is great advice. And my attitude for the viewers is people like Rebecca, people like myself, people like a lot of you, if you take basic, simple sales advice and use it, it works. Um,
Consistently.
I just did a report that Dave has a copy on his desk. I do an elite broker report once a month, and this one was on teaching skills instead of IT,
Mm.
and or or all the
AI, social media.
all the excuses we use for not
Yes.
talking to people.
Yep.
And it's interesting. I I've I have, I think, 96 brokers that I communicate with on a regular basis that are like Dave's company. And I've had about 30% of them in 24 hours send me a note saying, teach this to everybody, which is if you work on your skills, you have the confidence to do your job. And that's what I think has been fun to watch your moving up when you moved across country.
Yes,
So
yeah,
I
it's
want to,
exciting. We're back on the up and up now. Got my girls in daycare. I got more time on my hands, so I'm excited.
so why don't you, do you mind giving your cell phone number?
Sure. Yeah, so my cell phone is 817-913-3255. Again, if you have any referrals for Texas, even if I don't work that market, I've got an agent I can refer you to. So any and all referrals in Texas.
So give us the number again.
817-913-3255.
Good. Well, we hope that you get lots of calls, and I want to say thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
You're a great agent working in a great community, working for a great company, and that's a great combination. So thank you, Rebekah Gilbert, and we'll look forward to seeing you hopefully very soon.
In September. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.